Hey, what's up? It's Conversations with an Average Joe again. Sorry, but I'm starting to lose my voice. Now, I don't know about you, but it just doesn't seem like it could be any worse. Although I've said that before, I realize that, but it almost seems like our enemy has control of all our major decisions and then figured out a way to destroy us with the benefit of a pandemic from China. And since then, it seems like now we're on the verge of a nuclear war with our economy spinning out of control and wondering how it all happened as we went from lockdowns because of COVID now to lockdowns because we can't afford to drive. I mean, now we find ourselves in a situation where there's always another distraction competing to take our minds off what's important. Because the media they've again entangled us with a bunch of amateurish stories about people who have absolutely no worth to our lives except as actors who need to learn how to act normal. So, so here we are in a predicament which appears there's no way out unless somebody can figure out a way for Putin to save face to stop his madness. As those we elected to office in the news media have become like talking heads entertaining us on TV with everything but positive actions. And what hope do we have with Putin? Well, there's nothing to lose since he's in complete control of Russia. And now he has fooled the Russian people into thinking that he's fighting to liberate the Russian-speaking people from a bunch of Nazis in control of Ukraine. And the Russian people, of course, they believe him because that's what the state-run media tells them. And why would they doubt those Russian journalists who always tell them the truth? What do you think our media does? We know it certainly tries to influence our behavior and actually provides cover and control for those in power who they agree with. And now we should all be able to honestly agree now that the media caused a change in our country when they backed up a bunch of those who we knew, and we now know, to be crooked members of our intelligence community, who caused the wrongful impeachment of a president who so many wanted out of office because of his arrogance and his rude behavior, as he thought he was untouchable. Well, they showed him, but they had to lie and cheat to do it. And the only information we were getting about it was what we read in the newspaper or heard on TV. And all these journalists and media types who entered their profession to uncover the truth for the public, they were in on the scam. Of course, with all the names Trump, all the names Trump was calling them during and after his first campaign, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I guess some could chalk it up to he deserved it. But that doesn't excuse or forgive the journalists who he trusted to tell us the truth no matter how hard it might have been. It seemed rather odd that not one member of the mainstream media would break ranks and report the truth. It was a conspiracy of like epic proportions and continues. And even now we're faced with another breakdown in journalistic integrity with this Hunter Biden deal. And that's been going on for some time. Another distraction to take our eye off the ball. But I have some firsthand knowledge of the cover-up that many suggested changed the election and put Joe Biden in as president. As early as 2016, when my play Conversations with an Average Joe began its off-Broadway run, it was an entertaining play about government corruption, naming names, and exposing issues on both sides of the fence. Republican, Democrat, impartial, whatever, whole thing. And in one segment, the characters in the bar are bantering about how it's all about money and how some of those we elected would sell out our country for $1. And it's true. And the character playing the reporter presents some of the facts she has uncovered about the sons of those we elected making fortunes as lobbyists, and she mentioned Joe Biden's son Hunter receiving millions from a Ukrainian energy company, as the then Vice President Biden helped send $1.8 billion in aid to Ukraine. And then Hunter and John Kerry's son Chris received $1.5 billion from the Bank of China in a joint venture with them in American companies, some with military ties. Military ties! Well, that one expose in my play received attention from a law firm who demanded that I remove that accusation from the play since it was untrue and couldn't be proven. which could result in a major lawsuit affecting my play as well as my personal assets. And they asked me if I owned a house. I told them that I thought a lawsuit would be terrific for my play, and I'd enjoy going to court to prove all the statements of fact in the play. Now, while nothing was done about the Biden scenario or other material in the play, I was amazed that during the 2020 primary and general election, as the Hunter Biden info was in the laptop and all this other stuff, was looked upon as made up, even though there were occasions when representatives of major networks would come to see conversations and talk to me about various subjects in the play and how they enjoyed the characters arguing, defending facts that they agreed with their opinions, but never questioning what I was presenting. Nothing, ever. And then when the media and government intelligence people began suggesting the Hunter Biden stuff was misinformation spread by the Russians, and then never mentioning anything about it again. Never anything about it again. It was shut up for a long time, except by the New York Post. I realized that it was a major cover-up. It was then I realized that it was a major cover-up, that by all major media, and including the social media, and the fix was in to make sure that Hunter Biden didn't clutter the minds of those voting in elections. And it seems to be that way ever since. Like the media in Russia, that only tells the government side of the story. And now it's become another distraction, taking our minds off of what could turn out to be a third world war. If they don't figure out a way for Putin to save face, or bring the war to Russia. Although, doesn't it make you wonder why the sudden truth-telling and interest of Hunter Biden by the media, and as unbelievable and unrealistic to accomplish as it might sound, whether someone decided it's time to have all this stuff surface with the intention to attempt to remove President Biden from office. I'm not talking about Republicans. Well, that's probably so far-fetched, since you can imagine what it would take to put together such a conspiracy. Oh boy. About another current distraction, the whole thing with Clarence Thomas and his wife's influence. And we've been talking about that since 2016 in Conversations with an Average Joe as well. Just saying. So have a good evening, sleep tight, hopefully. I'll see you later. Take care.